There comes a moment in every human life when the mind stops being a wandering animal and becomes a weapon. Most people never reach that moment. They drift, they react, they break. They drown in their impulses, their fears, their anxieties, their emotional storms. But a few, a very rare few, wake up. Not by accident, not by comfort, but by collision. The collision between who they are and who they refuse to be anymore. This, right now, is that moment. If you stay with this video till the end, you will not simply learn something. You will shed a layer of your old mind. You will walk out sharper, calmer, more perceptive, more dangerous to the chaos around you. Not because you imitate Machiavelli, but because you finally behave like the Stoic you were always meant to be. This video is not entertainment. It is not motivation. It is a test of your ability to sit with truth, dark, heavy, and unfiltered, without running back to the comforting illusions that keep most people mentally weak. Let us walk. The mind is a blade, and most people let it rust. Machiavelli understood something terrifying. People rot not because life is hard, but because their minds become dull. A dull mind cannot cut through lies. A dull mind cannot control impulses. A dull mind cannot see reality as it is. And yet, a sharp mind slices through fear, through manipulation, through chaos, through emotion. A sharp mind sees patterns long before they form. A sharp mind becomes sovereign. This is the first rule of a sharper life. Sharpening the mind is not an act of addition. It is an act of removal. We do not become sharper by cramming more into our heads. We become sharper by eliminating the noise that clouds judgment. This is why Stoicism aligns so perfectly with Machiavelli's realism. A Stoic does not seek more comfort, more approval, more entertainment. He removes them. He removes distraction. He removes emotional baggage. He removes self-pity. He removes the lust to control what cannot be controlled. In the silence left behind, clarity is born. You don't sharpen a blade by decorating it. You sharpen it by scraping away the dullness. The same is true of your mind. Look within yourself right now. You know there is rust. The rust of overthinking, the rust of fear, the rust of trying to please the world, the rust of scrolling endlessly, seeking meaning in chaos. Rust is not removed by hope or by desire, only by discipline. And we are about to enter the discipline of sharpening. The enemy is not outside, it is inside. Machiavelli wrote about enemies, but he understood the sharpest truth. The most dangerous enemy lives in your own mind. Not the people who oppose you, not society, not fate, not luck, but the self-sabotaging voice inside you. A Stoic faces this enemy daily, quietly, patiently, ruthlessly. Every day, the mind tries to trick you into staying weak. Procrastinate, react emotionally, avoid discomfort, choose the easy path, let others think for you, seek validation, stay the same. And every day, if you want to become 200% sharper, you must counterattack. Not by shouting, not by fighting the world, but by mastering the battlefield inside your skull. The battle is between your impulses and your intentions, between your desires and your duties, between who you are and who you could become. The mind becomes sharper when the inner war is no longer wasted on trivial things. You must stop fighting shadows, stop fighting the past, stop fighting imagined scenarios. A sharp mind fights only what matters. Your own weakness, your own fear, your own emotional storms. Once that battle is won, external conflicts become child's play. The Stoic Machiavellian paradox: soft exterior, hard interior. Here is a truth that only a sharp mind can accept. The strongest people rarely look strong. They look calm, quiet, unbothered. People confuse calmness with softness. They confuse silence with weakness. But Stoicism hides its sharpness. Just like Machiavelli advised princes, conceal your claws until the moment you strike. A Stoic does not roar, yet he is unshakable. He does not posture, yet he cannot be manipulated. He does not show anger, yet he sees everything in the room. He does not react, yet he understands every motive in the room. We, those who sharpen our minds, do not display our power. We cultivate it. The calm face hides the volcanic discipline beneath it. The quiet voice hides a mind that never sleeps. The gentle demeanor hides an inner empire built on unbreakable principles. The world thinks we are soft.
Let them think so. That is the most Machiavellian advantage a Stoic possesses: the power of invisibility. No one prepares for a person who appears harmless. No one notices the person who observes silently. No one suspects the mind that watches, evaluates, calculates, and yet that mind is the sharpest blade in the room. The art of not being distracted. Here is a brutal truth. Your mind cannot become sharper as long as it is owned by distraction. Distraction is modern slavery. Not physical, but mental. People are prisoners to notifications, impulses, temporary emotions, the opinions of others, and the constant noise of an overstimulated world. Distraction makes you predictable. Predictable people are easy to manipulate. And what is easier to control than someone who cannot control themselves? Machiavelli warned rulers to watch how people act under passion, pleasure, and fear. He knew a distracted person is a defeated person. Stoicism warns the same way. You must guard the gates of your mind as if guarding a kingdom. Not every thought gets to enter. Not every emotion gets to command. Not every desire gets to lead. When you reduce distraction, you increase sharpness. When you silence the world, you hear your own thoughts. When you stop reacting, you start thinking. And the moment you start thinking, truly thinking, you become dangerous. The practice of silence, the sharpest weapon. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is power. Most people fear silence because it forces them to face their own mind. A dull mind avoids silence. A sharp mind seeks it. Silence is where the inner sharpening happens, where judgment becomes clearer, where emotions lose their grip, where impulses weaken, where clarity emerges. If you practice silence daily, even for a few minutes, you will notice something strange. Your thoughts become organized. Your emotions become less chaotic. You start seeing patterns others don't. You start noticing motives others miss. You start predicting outcomes before they unfold. This is the beginning of mental sharpness. Not noise, not constant stimulation, but stillness. Machiavelli observed rulers from silence. Stoics mastered themselves through silence. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of awareness. Anyone can speak. Only the wise can remain quiet. Anyone can react. Only the disciplined can hold their composure. Anyone can shout their opinions. Only the sharp can sit with truth in silence. Practice silence, guard silence. Treat silence as a sacred ritual. For in silence, your mind is reforged. Your mind is controlled by what you tolerate. If you want a sharper mind, you must confront the harshest truth. You trained your mind to be weak by what you allowed. You allowed laziness. You allowed overthinking. You allowed distraction. You allowed emotional storms to run your decisions. You allowed comfort to replace discipline. You allowed fear to shrink your ambitions. Weakness is rarely taken. It is allowed. You tolerated thoughts that slowed you down. You entertained emotions that drained your power. You accepted habits that made you dull. But here is the beautiful thing about responsibility. If you created the weakness, you can destroy it. Stoicism teaches that everything begins with perception, the story you tell yourself. Machiavelli teaches that power begins with discipline, the actions you take. Combine them, and you will build a mind that bends to your will. You no longer tolerate weakness. You no longer tolerate distraction. You no longer tolerate emotional overreactions. You no longer tolerate the person you used to be. From now on, the standard is higher. We raise it together. You become sharper by mastering your emotional storms. The mind is never truly sharp until it can stay calm in chaos. A person who gets angry easily, a person who gets jealous quickly, a person who gets offended by everything is not sharp. They are fragile. Sharpness is emotional discipline. Machiavelli wrote extensively about the volatility of emotion, how men are easily manipulated when they cannot master their feelings, how a ruler must remain composed when others panic, how power belongs to those who can stay calm when the crowd loses its mind. Stoicism teaches the exact same principle, but deeper. No external event can disturb the mind that governs itself. Your emotions are not enemies, they are servants. But if you let them become masters, you will lose every battle inside and outside. A mind becomes sharper not when it feels less, but when it responds with intention rather than impulse. Anger is not a strategy. Fear is not a compass. Desire is not a guide.
A sharp mind sees emotion, acknowledges it, and acts with reason. You do not suppress emotion, you domesticate it. And a domesticated emotion becomes fuel, not chains. The three-step mind. Think like a strategist, not a victim. A dull mind sees only what is in front of it. A sharp mind sees 3 steps ahead. This is where the Stoic and the Machiavellian intersect with frightening precision. To become mentally sharper, you must understand a principle that will separate you from 99% of people. The present moment is not the full picture. It is only the first move.
Most people react to what they see. We prepare for what they don't see. Most people respond emotionally to the first event. We calculate the chain reaction that follows it. Most people get overwhelmed by what is happening. We stay focused on what it will mean. This is why sharp minds remain calm. They do not fear the present. They already understand its consequences. When someone insults you, a dull mind reacts instantly. A sharp mind asks, "Why now? For what purpose? What happens if I ignore it? What happens if I respond? What outcome does this create?" When someone tries to manipulate you, a dull mind feels attacked. A sharp mind observes, what do they want? What do they gain? What is their insecurity? What weakness are they exposing right now? When life throws chaos at you, a dull mind panics. A sharp mind evaluates, what can I control? What must I endure? What new strength will this build? This is perception. This is awareness. This is mental sovereignty. And here lies the secret. The person who sees further controls the game. You sharpen your mind by extending your vision beyond the immediate. This is why both Stoics and Machiavelli were feared. Their minds operated on a level the average person could not detect. You must learn to see the intention behind every word, the motive behind every action, the insecurity behind every insult, the fear behind every attack, the opportunity behind every challenge, the weakness behind every temptation. A person who sees only the surface becomes a victim of circumstance. A person who sees the deeper layers becomes a strategist of fate. And strategy is the highest form of mental sharpness. The power of detachment, a mind that cannot be broken. Many people misunderstand detachment. They think it means not caring. But Stoic detachment is something much more powerful. Detachment is not the absence of feeling. It is the absence of slavery to feeling. You feel everything, but you obey nothing except reason. This is how your mind becomes unbreakable. Someone disrespects you. You observe, but you do not fold. Someone lies to you. You listen, but you do not react. Someone tries to provoke you. You breathe, but you do not respond. Life throws chaos at you. You endure, but you do not surrender. Detachment sharpens your mind because it frees you from emotional fog. Think of emotions as storms. They are powerful, unpredictable, destructive. A dull mind stands in the storm. A sharp mind stands above it. The Stoics practiced a terrifying form of detachment. They imagined losing everything. They imagined chaos. They imagined death. They imagined suffering. They imagined humiliation. They imagined betrayal. Why? Not to depress themselves, but to free the mind from fear. Whatever you have already accepted mentally cannot break you emotionally. Machiavelli echoed the same principle. The ruler who fears nothing cannot be manipulated by anyone. Fear is the rope others pull to control you. Detachment cuts the rope. The more detached you become, the sharper your perception becomes, because you no longer see the world through emotional distortion. You see what is, not what your feelings want it to be. And once you see clearly, you cannot be deceived, seduced, controlled, or broken. This is not coldness. This is mastery. The art of predicting human behavior. A dull mind assumes people are complicated. A sharp mind knows the truth. Human behavior is predictable because human nature is consistent. People move from the same impulses: fear, desire, pride, insecurity, comfort, approval, ego. Once you recognize these patterns, you gain an almost supernatural clarity. When someone boasts, we know it comes from insecurity. When someone manipulates, it comes from fear of losing control. When someone seeks attention, it comes from emptiness. When someone gossips, it comes from envy. When someone gets offended easily, it comes from fragility. When someone acts superior, it comes from inner inferiority. This is not judgment. This is understanding. Machiavelli mastered this understanding for political strategy. Stoics mastered this understanding to avoid emotional foolishness. We master it for sharpness. Observe the people around you for 1 week. Watch their patterns, notice their reactions, study their triggers, listen to what they don't say. Watch how they treat those who cannot benefit them. You will discover something remarkable. People reveal the entire architecture of their psyche through their smallest actions. And once you understand people, you gain 2 powers. The power to predict. You will know how someone will act long before they act. The power to stay unshaken, because nothing surprises a mind that already understands. Most fear comes from uncertainty. Sharpness eliminates uncertainty. When you understand human nature, you can navigate any environment with calm precision. Nothing can intimidate you if you already know how the other person thinks. Raise your threshold for discomfort. Here is a brutal truth that most people refuse to swallow. Weak minds break because they collapse under discomfort. People run from boredom. People run from difficulty. People run from discipline. People run from effort. People run from silence. People run from challenge. People run from anything that stretches them. And every time they run, their threshold for discomfort becomes even weaker. But the Stoic Machiavellian mind grows sharper by doing the opposite. We move toward discomfort. We use discomfort. We absorb discomfort. We let discomfort forge us. Why? Because discomfort destroys illusions. It strips the mind down to its strongest core. It eliminates softness. It builds the inner steel that external chaos cannot bend. If you want a mind that is 200% sharper, then understand this. Comfort dulls the blade. Discomfort sharpens it. This does not mean seeking pain. It means choosing growth over ease. It means doing what you know you should do even when your emotions resist. It means sitting in silence even when the mind wants stimulation. It means working when the body wants rest. It means saying no when your impulses want yes. It means staying calm when your emotions want chaos. It means leaving the comfortable path when your ambition demands a harder one. The mind is sharpened by friction, by resistance, by pressure, by discipline. You are not weak. You are unsharpened. Discomfort is the whetstone. The most dangerous habit? Reactivity. If you want to become truly sharp, you must destroy this mental disease, reactivity. A reactive mind is like a leaf in the wind. It goes wherever the environment pushes it. Someone insults you, you react. Someone praises you, you react. Someone ignores you, you react. Something goes wrong, you react. Reaction is slavery. The reactive mind is predictable. Predictability is vulnerability. Vulnerability is defeat. Machiavelli wrote that the easiest people to control are the ones who cannot control themselves. Stoicism teaches the cure. Between stimulus and response, we choose. Reaction belongs to the past version of you, the version who lacked awareness. A sharp mind responds with intention, not impulse. You do not act because someone triggered you. You act because you decide to act. The difference seems small, it is enormous. Reactive minds destroy relationships, opportunities, reputations, and inner peace. Sharp minds build empires, inner and outer. When your reaction time slows down, your thinking time increases. When your thinking time increases, your decisions improve. And when your decisions improve, your entire life sharpens. The value of being misunderstood. A dull mind wants to be understood. A sharp mind accepts being misunderstood. When you begin changing, when you become more disciplined, more observant, more silent, more intentional, people around you will not know how to interpret you. They will think you're cold. They will think you're arrogant. They will think you're distant. They will think you're strange. Good. A sharp mind is rarely recognized by ordinary eyes. Let them misunderstand you. Let them underestimate you. Nothing is more powerful than being underestimated. You are not seen as competition. You are not perceived as a threat. You are not placed inside their mental radar. You can move strategically without resistance. You can grow without being attacked. You can observe without being observed. Machiavelli warned rulers about appearing too powerful too soon because it invites enemies. Stoicism warns that visibility invites noise. We find the middle path. Invisible strength, quiet sharpness, silent mastery. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need approval. Your mind is your kingdom, and you answer only to its ruler.
Real strength is not visible. It is felt. When your mind sharpens, you will notice something. People feel your presence even before you speak. Sharpness has an aura, calm but firm, quiet but intense, controlled but powerful, gentle but unmovable, humble but unbreakable. People may not understand why you feel different, but they will feel it instinctively. Your silence becomes louder than others' words. Your stability becomes more intimidating than others' aggression. Your self-control becomes more influential than others' opinions. This is the paradox of mental sharpness. The sharper you become inside, the softer your external movements appear, because you no longer need to prove anything. You no longer need validation. You no longer need noise. You have internal power, the kind that cannot be faked, borrowed, or copied. External strength invites challenge. Internal strength invites respect. The mind that does not flinch. There is a moment in every person's life when the world tries to test the structure of their mind. It pushes you, it pressures you, it tries to break you from within. This is the world's nature, to test the worth of your inner steel. Most people fail the test for one reason. Their mind flinches. Flinching is the tiny collapse before the real collapse. You hesitate when you should move. You react when you should observe. You complain when you should endure. You break silence when you should remain still. Flinching is not physical, it is mental. And once the mind flinches, the world knows where to hit. The Stoic understood this better than anyone. Strength is not the absence of hardship. Strength is the refusal to collapse under it. The moment you stop flinching, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is the highest form of leverage. Because people who cannot predict you cannot control you. Because situations that cannot destabilize you cannot defeat you. Because emotions that cannot drag you cannot mislead you. A mind that does not flinch is a mind that sees clearly, thinks sharply, and acts with frightening precision. You want your mind to be sharper? Stop flinching. Act with intention. Speak with calculation. Observe without rushing. Hold silence when others panic. Respond when the moment is right, not when emotion demands it. This is what gives your mind its edge. This is the first layer of mental sovereignty.
the absolute control of your inner tempo. People lose their sharpness because they live at the wrong speed. They rush when they should slow down. They delay when they should move. They panic when they should think. They freeze when they should act. Sharp minds master inner tempo, the rhythm of thought. A Stoic's tempo is slow enough to think clearly, fast enough to execute decisively. A Machiavellian's tempo is unpredictable, sometimes calm as a lake, sometimes sudden as lightning. But the dull mind? It is always one step behind its own life. Your inner tempo must be yours, not society's, not pressures, not anxieties. When life accelerates, we slow down internally. Our breath deepens. Our focus sharpens. Our nerves quiet. We feel everything, but we panic at nothing. This mastery of inner tempo creates a powerful illusion. To the outside world, it appears as though you always know what you're doing. But the truth is even more intimidating. You control the pace of your existence. People who cannot control their tempo are slaves to the environment. People who can control their tempo become masters of intensity. This is why your mind sharpens. Because you're no longer dragged by life, you are shaping life. The elimination of mental noise. There is a sound that destroys thinking. Noise. Not the noise of streets, crowds, or machines, but the inner noise. Imaginary arguments, emotional overthinking, fearful predictions, regret loops, self-criticism, mental pressure, useless memories, past embarrassments, projected failures. This noise drains clarity. Most people do not suffer from a lack of intelligence. They suffer from excessive noise. And here is the Stoic truth. Noise is created by resisting reality. Every unresolved emotion becomes noise. Every suppressed desire becomes noise. Every fear avoided becomes noise. Every person you know is wrong for your life becomes noise. Every lie you tell yourself becomes noise. A noisy mind cannot be sharp. A noisy mind cannot be strategic. A noisy mind cannot be sovereign. So how do we eliminate noise? By doing something most people never dared to do. We face reality exactly as it is. No sugarcoating, no illusions, no fantasies, no denial. When Marcus Aurelius said that the mind becomes unstoppable when it stops wishing for reality to be different, this is what he meant. The moment you accept things as they are, the noise dissolves. Because noise is resistance. Clarity is acceptance. Machiavelli said something similar. Do not imagine things as you want them to be. See them as they are. The combination of these two philosophies is lethal. Accept reality like a Stoic. Manipulate reality like a strategist. Build your reality like a warrior. This is how the mind becomes a clean, silent blade.
The exercise of inward, brutal honesty. Here is a truth that no one wants to hear. You cannot sharpen a mind that lies to itself. People want sharp minds, but they refuse to confront their blind spots. They protect their ego. They hide from their weaknesses. They avoid facing their flaws. They bury the parts that embarrass them. A mind that avoids truth will live in confusion, but a mind that embraces truth sharpens itself automatically. There is a Stoic Machiavellian ritual that few can perform: radical, ruthless self-examination. Ask yourself, what are my real weaknesses? What triggers me emotionally? Where do I lose control?
What fears control me silently? What habits drain my strength? What lies do I tell myself to avoid responsibility? Every answer you uncover adds one more edge to your mental blade. Because self-awareness is power, denial is blindness. A dull mind hides from itself. A sharp mind investigates itself. The more truth you face, the stronger you become. People run from truth because they think it will hurt them. But truth does not hurt. Truth cleans. Truth cuts away illusions. Truth destroys internal parasites. Truth removes weakness. Truth dissolves fear. Truth dismantles self-sabotage. This is why Stoics looked inward every night, and Machiavelli looked inward before every move. When you know yourself deeply, no one can use your weaknesses against you, because weaknesses you have conquered become strengths. The art of silence as a weapon. Most people talk because silence makes them uncomfortable. Sharp people talk only with purpose. Silence is not absence of words. Silence is presence of power. There are 5 forms of silence that sharpen the mind. 1. The silence of self-control. You don't respond to every provocation. 2. The silence of observation. You listen long enough to understand the truth. 3. The silence of analysis. You think before you act. 4. The silence of mystery. You do not reveal everything about yourself. 5. The silence of discipline. You speak only when it improves the situation. The dull mind tries to fill silence. The sharp mind uses silence. Silence is intimidating because people fear the unknown. When you speak less, people respect your words more. People reveal more to you. People fear misinterpreting you. People hesitate to attack you. People cannot predict your strategy. People try harder to impress you. This is why the great thinkers were silent, why the strongest rulers spoke rarely, why the calmest warriors were the deadliest. Silence is a sword. When you master silence, your presence alone becomes sharp. The Stoic Machiavellian triad, the 3 powers that make your mind 200% sharper. To build a mind that cannot be manipulated, confused, weakened, or overwhelmed, you need 3 internal powers. 1. The Stoic wall. Nothing enters your mind without permission. This wall protects you from insults, manipulation, overthinking, emotional storms, social pressure, external chaos. People will try to find cracks in your mind. Your wall must remain whole. 2. The Machiavellian blade. A piercing ability to understand people and motives. This gives you strategic advantage, predictive power, self-defense against manipulation, influence over your environment, ability to calculate consequences, the confidence of clarity. You see through people, not at them. 3. The inner throne. Complete sovereignty over your choices. This gives you discipline, self-control, intentional behavior, freedom from impulse, calm execution, a powerful sense of identity. You become the ruler of your inner state. Put these 3 together, and your mind becomes more powerful than anything life can throw at you.
The ritual of negative preparation. There is a mental exercise practiced by Stoics so powerful that modern psychology still cannot match it. Premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. This is how the mind becomes unshakable. We imagine the worst. We prepare for the worst. We accept the worst. We master the worst. Then the worst loses its power. The dull mind hopes everything will go well. The sharp mind prepares for everything, good or bad. Hope is not a strategy. Preparation is. When you prepare for difficulty, nothing surprises you. When nothing surprises you, nothing breaks you. When nothing breaks you, you become unstoppable. You can walk into any challenge calmly, not because you expect it to be easy, but because you know you will not collapse. Imagine the loss. Imagine the hardship. Imagine the test. Imagine the insult. Imagine the failure. Imagine the betrayal. Imagine the discomfort. You do not do this to invite negativity. You do this to eliminate fear. Fear dies when the mind has already walked through the fire. The uncompromising code of mental sovereignty. Here is the truth no one tells you. Sharpness is not built in the mind. Sharpness is built in the code that the mind obeys. Your mind follows your standards. Your standards follow your code. Your code shapes your destiny. This is the Stoic Machiavellian code. 1. Never act from emotion. Observe emotion. Emotion is a visitor, not a ruler. 2. Never seek validation. Seek clarity. Clarity leads to correct decisions. 3. Never speak without purpose. Words are tools, not decorations. 4. Never fear discomfort. Discomfort is the gym of the mind. 5. Never avoid truth. Truth sharpens, lies weaken. 6. Never lose your inner tempo. The world can rush, we stay calm. 7. Never reveal your entire self. Mystery protects your power. 8. Never react instantly. Instant reaction is instant defeat. 9. Never break your discipline for comfort. Comfort is the enemy. 10. Never surrender your inner throne. Your mind belongs to you alone. This code is not easy. It is not meant to be. Only strong minds can follow it, and following it is what makes them strong. The final elevation, a mind like a blade. There comes a moment in this journey where everything changes. The noise dissolves, the fear fades, the chaos loses influence, the insecurities vanish, the doubts weaken, the impulses shrink, the mind grows quiet, then it grows sharp. You begin to understand life not as a battlefield of emotions, but as a series of calculated decisions. You begin to think in layers, in angles, in probabilities, in consequences, in strategies, in meaning. This is not coldness, this is evolution. The mind becomes lighter but stronger, still but powerful, calm but formidable. People will feel the difference in your eyes, in your posture, in your silence, in your calmness, in your presence. You will not need to announce your transformation. It will radiate. Because the sharpest mind is not the one that knows everything. It is the mind that has mastered itself. We are not here to be ordinary. We are not here to be predictable. We are not here to be controlled by emotion. We are here to rise above ourselves, to become rulers of our own inner kingdom. And when your mind becomes 200% sharper, the world does not change. You change,
and that changes everything.